I was at a loss of what to do about him. My emotions were anything but calm. Well, not surprising considering the smooch he laid on you, girl. I hated him sometimes, and others I wanted him. I don't really hate him, even though he could be so frustrating. I leaned against the table, cupping my chin in my hands. The thing was, that was part of the attraction, wasn't it? The constant fireworks. As obnoxious as he was sometimes, he was gentle and caring, too. That dichotomy was fascinating. I want to research it closer. The way he always encouraged me to walk my own path and not be swallowed up by Endgame. The way he worried. That's why we all love him, girl. I wanted to talk to him more, to get to know him. I wanted to be with him more. I also kind of wanted to smack him a few more times. On the butt. I mean... How could one man stir this much uncertainty? But that was why I couldn't stay away from him, wasn't it? And I couldn't begin to say how he felt about me. Let's just do an instant replay of what happened last night. I wonder how he feels. I wasn't sure how training would go or what I would do when I saw him again. Fortunately, I'm with Ari first today. And I had time to spare since I hadn't been able to sleep and had gotten up early. Alright. There we go. We are back. We are back in it. Okay. So our chitty chat didn't change. But now, no affection once again.
Morgan, I'm glad you're here. And it makes me angry at myself that I am.
You don't have to be angry for my sake, Caleb. I'm more than capable of deciding how I feel about being here.
I know that. But I don't want you to get caught up in this place. And I don't want to use my idiot feelings for you to help do it.
Idiot feelings, please. There's a lot wrong with that statement. First, I won't be swayed into loving it here just because an attractive man decides he likes me. If I hated it, I would hate it no matter what. I'm confident in that. I'm not quite dependent enough to be ensnared by that or whatever. Second, you're not the only one I've interacted with here. If you see me starting to adapt, you don't have to assume it's because of you.
That's not what I'm trying to say.
I hesitated before I reached out to him, brushing my fingers along his jaw. After last night, I think it's obvious I feel something for you. But if you're worried I'll throw myself in your arms and accept whatever this council hands me, you're wrong.
I didn't think you would throw yourself in my arms.
With you, I want to take it slow. We don't know much about each other outside of work, and we need to correct that before we...
share a passionate kiss in the training room again.
We should avoid doing that again regardless.
Well, I can't say you're wrong there, though it's a little disappointing.
I hated the way he smirked when my face went hot. As for the council, being thrown into danger, or just becoming a part of this place, none of that is up to you. I don't intend to be pushed around by this council of yours.
You've been so unsure of yourself all this time. I don't have confidence you'll stand up to them when you need to. Hell, even Magnus doesn't do it.
You're right. I have been uncertain. But isn't that at least partially because I'm kept in the dark about things? I don't even have full system access yet. I can't contact my parents without having my messages read. I gladly stormed the council room to demand better treatment, but I guess I've been worried about disappointing everyone.
No one will be disappointed in you if you do that. Hell, we'll be cheering you on, Morgan. This place isn't like New Albion, where stepping outside the lines can ruin your reputation or chances at getting ahead. You're already at the top anyway. We've all been overprotective because we're worried you won't stand up for yourself.
Then I'll start, so you don't have to worry anymore.
Good. And in the meantime, I agree that we should get to know more about each other before there are more liaisons in the training room.
There won't be more of those.
What a shame. Then how about dinner together? Here at the tower. Just something casual.
Now that I can agree to. Interesting, so they're gonna stay in tonight instead of going out.
Before that, maybe we should go find Magnus.
For what?
Magnus can give you back your system access, so you can at least talk to your parents. Normally we'd go through the personnel department, but since they're dragging their asses, we should just go around them.
Alright.
Then dinner.
I look forward to it. Cute. I'll never tire of this view. I looked out over the city from our vantage point, sitting near the window, a slight smile on my face.
Give it a few years.
Fine, fine. I suspect that after a few years, I shall become extremely tired of this view. Happy? He smirked in response, taking another sip from his glass.
You'll be one of us before you know it.
I thought I already was.
You're nowhere near cynical enough to be considered one of us yet.
I guess that is true. Though Vaughn isn't as cynical as the rest of you. And Magnus.
No, he's not cynical, just twisted.
Sometimes I wonder how that happened. There's a lot of history the rest of you share. History I know nothing about.
The history we have isn't all that special. But if you want to know about something in particular...
I want to know everything. I want to learn about you. What it was like to grow up here. About Jack. I know you hate talking about him, but that just makes it clear how much he must have meant to you when he was here. So I want to hear about that. About why he left, what happened to the previous queen, what happened to Vaughn, why everyone here always acts so scared for me. I want to know all that, and a lot more. Okay, is this gonna be... No, this counts as something we've talked about already. Okay, good to know. Okay, this is about Jack leaving. I'm so sorry. There was a weariness to his tone, one that made me regret the topic of discussion. It wasn't a good first official date conversation, was it? At the same time, I couldn't help but feel this event shaped who he was, shaped him being the way he was. I wanted to know about it. I wanted to hear about it from him. Good on you, girl. I was glad he was willing to tell me about it, but I was also sorry I brought it up. It's true, Jack was like way more tight-lipped about it. He's like, he admitted that he did have to talk about it with Morgan, but it was like pulling teeth. It's like, I don't want to think about any of that. I don't want to acknowledge that, you know, things I've said about people in Endgame isn't entirely accurate, and I'm putting blame on the wrong people kind of thing. Whereas Caleb, like, owns up to it very quickly and is very honest about it, which I really appreciate. I felt his fingers under my chin, making me look up at him.
Don't make that kind of face, Morgan. It's been 10 years already.
But...
I think I want you to hear this. So will you listen?
Of course I will. He took a deep breath. Okay, is this like more? No. Okay, this is the same stuff we did before. Good to know. Then we have to learn from what happened back then so it doesn't happen again. For everyone's sake. But mostly his. I didn't want him to have to go through something like that again. Not when it was clear how deep the wounds still were. 10 years or not, it was obvious every day how he was still dealing with the aftermath.
I'm not worried about us learning from it. But no one can tell me the Council has.
The Council isn't out in the field dealing with this stuff. We are. Maybe it's time to make sure they understand that.
Sounds like you're plotting an insurrection.
Hardly. But it's fair to question orders that put us in harm's way if those orders seem poorly thought out. Under the circumstances, I don't think you can say you disagree with that.
I don't. But I'm just one rook. There's only so much I can do on my own.
Don't sell yourself short, buddy. You've gotten a lot accomplished. Then aren't you fortunate you aren't on your own anymore? He smiled as he took my hand and held it to his cheek.
I am.
Then Caleb changed the subject. He said we weren't going out so we could talk about work the whole time. Alright, so now we should chat about ourselves. We went for a walk in the garden after dinner, which felt like it was becoming habit for us. I didn't mind it. Our walks were a bright spot, a quiet time when I could forget everything else. And eventually, Caleb took me back to my room for the night. I guess I'll see you in the morning for training?
Of course.
He caught my chin and tipped my head up, his lips grazing mine before he pulled me into a hug. Aww.
Try to get a decent night's sleep. I know you haven't been sleeping well.
I'll try.
See you in the morning, Leone.
I rolled my eyes at that resurfaced habit, but watched him go with a smile on my face. Okay. And we're out. He's about to shoot!
Shield!
He shoved me back against the wall, putting himself between me and the gunman. I threw up a shield a split second after I heard the whine and discharge of a sonic weapon. It hit the shield hard, causing me to buckle under the sudden impact like I'd been hit personally. The shield held, but only just. A metallic clang came from above us, the sound of a weapon falling, then rapid footsteps. Kayla pushed me back against the wall.
Stay there.
Alright. So she didn't take the initiative this time. She actually was like, they're about to shoot! Thanks. Gave myself a bit of a headache there.
That can happen with hasty shield constructions. They put more strain on the Esper when they're damaged. Nevertheless, the shield held. That's the important part. Next time, don't wait to put it up, though. As soon as you sense danger...
You told me not to activate my Psi. And the last time I disobeyed orders?
There's smart disobedience and stupid disobedience, Morgan. Throwing yourself in the line of danger, against orders, is stupid. Putting up a shield when you know someone's about to shoot at you, even if I told you not to activate Psi, is smart. It's always better to be alive and unhurt. Always.
Got it. She took that criticism well.
Either way, good work.
Thanks. Alright, moving on. Alright, and if I'm correct... Yes. Okay, we need to make a save here, boys and girls. Because, this leads to Bad Endsville, because of course it does. I'm so glad when I saw this, I was like, nope, we are leaving. We're out of here. I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. Until next video. What are we doing? Okay, she's filing a briefing report and answering a message I got from Mum earlier. It was such a relief that they didn't have to go through the admin anymore. Magnus came through on that one. I was glad Caleb had the idea to talk to him. I felt a little guilty about bypassing the admin, but not too guilty. Alright. I really am okay. I promise I'm fine.
Then I'm glad. I feel like something crappy happens every time we take you anywhere.
I mean, it's true. He brushed my hair from my face, pressing a kiss to my forehead. It was one of those surprising, tender gestures that surface sometimes. The memory of the dark passion from that kiss in the training room came rushing back. A forehead kiss wasn't what I expected from him, but it was sweet.
I know none of this is easy. I admire how strong you're being.
I don't think I'm that strong. I just do what I need to do.
That's strength as well.
Truth. He wrapped me into a gentle embrace, resting his chin on my wet hair. One hand swept carefully down my back over the towel. My mouth just decided, nope, we're not gonna try with that word. Towel.
I guess you haven't eaten. Going to the lounge in a bit.
Wanna join me?
Sounds great. I'll let you get dressed and meet you there.
I'll see you there in a little while.
Sounds good.
He left after that, and I flopped back, letting out a soft groan. Ugh, what a day. I went to finish drying my hair and getting dressed so we could meet up at the lounge. Despite everything, I had a feeling I'd be too exhausted to not sleep well tonight. Are we back? Not quite. A good night's sleep was definitely something to look forward to. Almost as much as dinner with Caleb. Maybe more, though I wouldn't tell him that. Alright. Chapter 11. Continuing on. New respect? Well, yes. I am. Though, to be fair, I've always respected you.
You have not always respected me.
Okay, you're right. I started respecting you when I realized you weren't just a cranky kidnapper.
And here I haven't brought up the building incident in days. Days.
He flicked my forehead playfully before tossing me a water bottle.
You're handling it well.
Alright, are we good? We're good. Cute. I'm not sure I'm ready for this assignment, no matter the progress I've made.
No one feels ready when they're new, no matter how skilled they are. Confidence comes with experience, not just ability. And experience only comes with time.
Oh hey, you can say smart things sometimes, can't you?
I've seen all your records, Morgan. I know I'm smarter than you.
I'll have you know that we'll just flash back. Alright. Relic's blowing up. Asteri wasn't all that bad. I mean, it wasn't exactly fun, but I think it could have been worse. Nope, this is all different, okay.
Well, you had that incident in Bray Sill prior, I guess. It wasn't an assignment, but after something like that, anything that doesn't involve screaming maniacs must seem easy.
That's true. There was decidedly less shouting and chaos in Asteri. Asteri had its own issues, but in the grand scheme of things, it was the easiest thing I dealt with so far. Alright. Okay, we're not asking if she grew up in Delphine. Curious. Have they already sent out a team?
They mobilized this morning. 2 experienced teams. Hopefully they find the expedition intact.
I hope so. We know the Western Expanse to be pretty dangerous, though I understand there are a lot of people eager to explore it.
I don't get that at all. Dione has some of the most hostile environments in the system. Is the history of some unrelated species even interesting enough to risk your life for?
Some people think so. You realize history is something we all share. It doesn't happen to just one group in isolation. It doesn't matter if humans weren't here at the time, it's still part of our history too.
I guess that's one way to look at it.
It's the only logical way to look at it.
If you say so. I struggle with the idea that you get nervous before some simple assignment here, but you'd throw yourself into Delphine's jungles to go hunt down some lost city.
I never said I wanted to explore the Western Expanse, just that I understand why others do.
I guess that's good to hear. You'd probably give me an ulcer if you were that reckless.
Yeah, my personality is different now, so I don't want to go. With how much you fret and get annoyed at everything in existence, I'm shocked you don't already have 12 ulcers.
I'm definitely working on it since you showed up.
You need new hobbies, then.
I have plenty of hobbies, thank you.
Oh? I'm eager to hear about these hobbies, since the only one I know about so far is Volitant.
A game I still very much have to teach you to play.
Good luck with that.
If you can handle Dione, you can handle Volitant.
I guess we'll see about that, whether I want to or not.
Damn right.
It's actually, it would have been neat to see the two of them play Volitant, but I don't know when you would have had time to do it in the route. But still, I'll just have to headcanon it, I guess. What sounds like fun? Sleeping. Okay, and then we have a lot of briefings. That sounds like so much fun.
It's not. Trust me.
Sometimes your honesty is not comforting. He leaned in and pressed a careful kiss to my forehead, then to my lips. When he kissed me like that, it made me want to ask him to stay. But I didn't think that was a good idea. Yet. Yeah, this would have been the chapter we did it. He pulled me into another hug, leaning his cheek against the top of my head.
Things are about to heat up significantly, but with luck, your part in all this will be over by the end of tomorrow. Maybe we can take a trip to that rock climbing place. It's been a month, but I think you could use an actual break. Away from here.
That sounds wonderful. He smoothed my hair back as he pulled away.
You'll do fine.
I know. And I'll have you right there with me anyway.
Exactly.
He stood and stretched, his back making a series of loud pops that elicited a groan from him.
Thank you for dinner.
No problem. Thank you for minimal complaints on my cooking technique.
I wasn't complaining, I was helping.
Right, helping. Next time you get to cook, and I get to help. Oh, that's right, you never did cook for us this route. I've been robbed.
I'll look forward to it. And I'll see you in the morning.
We shared another quick kiss at the door, and I, again, was tempted to ask him to stay, but we said goodbye and he left. After that, I had some tea and stayed up reading for a while. When I finally went to bed, I had far too much trouble falling asleep, but at some point the weariness took over and I drifted off. You would have had better sleep if you'd asked him to stay. Oh, right, because he's not here this morning, so I guess she wakes up by herself. My breaths were coming in rapid succession and there was a cool sweat on my skin. For a moment I stared at the foot of the bed in confusion. I was... just now... dreaming. I'd been dreaming. A hand went to my face, rubbing at the corner of my eye as the dregs of sleep drained away and my shaky breathing returned to normal. I flopped over with a groan, burying my face back in my pillow. The dream was already fading from memory. It had been about relics. I was pretty sure I had been in Pythia. Probably a stress dream, all things considered. I couldn't remember the details, which might be for the best, given how I'd awakened from it. A notification chime sounded in my head, and I groaned again, pulling up the message. Caleb, what do you want? My alarm went off right as he spoke. I shut it off, glaring at my ceiling.
Time to wake up.
I have an alarm for a reason, you know.
You mean you aren't overjoyed to hear my voice first thing this morning?
I'm not overjoyed to hear anything first thing in the morning.
And here I was, sure you were an energetic morning person.
You were wrong. And I'm up.
I'll meet you outside your flat soon. We have an early start and a busy day.
I know. He disconnected, and I groaned again before yanking off the blankets and tumbling out of bed. I went to take a shower so I could wake up and get this day over with as soon as possible. Alright. I was practically vibrating with nervousness by the time we reached Pythia, and even more so when Caleb and I stepped out of the car at the venue. Interesting, because when in the alternate universe of Caleb's passionate ending, she's like, I'm feeling pretty good. He's like, you don't have to be like so chill about it. She's like, you'll know I'm chill if I fall asleep. Now she's like, I'm vibrating with nervousness. Everything was happening so fast and so slow at the same time. Nope. The auction was a semi-formal event, which would have been uncomfortable even if I wasn't there on assignment. As it was, I was having a hard time calming the shaking as Caleb helped me out of the car.
Just stay close to me. Remember, we're just going to bed normally. We're not storming the place.
Sure. That makes it so much less terrifying. He smirked as we joined a line of people waiting to get inside.
Glad I could be of some comfort.
When he said it that way, just bidding like normal guests, it sounded less difficult. With Endgame's endless funds, the price wasn't a concern. If somehow we lost, that was when things would become problematic. But hopefully it wouldn't come to that. There we go. Neither of us said anything as we watched Jack go, but I could tell something was bothering him, so she didn't stop him this time. He chewed the inside of his jaw, a scowl on his face. I was just about to suggest he go when he turned to me and spoke first, muttering a curse under his breath.
Morgan, stay here. I need to go see what the hell that idiot is on about.
Okay, so you went of your own volition this time. I understand. I mean, Jack wasn't wrong. They knew more about the situation than we did, and if there was something suspicious going on, we couldn't risk something happening to Ari and Vaughn because we failed to check it out. And it didn't seem like a spontaneous trick of some kind. I wasn't keen on Caleb leaving my side. But when unpredictable things happened, I suppose improvisation? Is that how you say that? Improvisation. It just is not clicking in my brain. Was necessary.
And if this one tries anything while I'm gone, punch him. His type is notoriously lacking in defenses.
He means a king rank, I guess. He can take care of himself, though.
One punch and he'll fold like wet paper.
Good to know. I shot Kesa an awkward look, but his expression was impassive as usual.
And you. Anything happens to her, you're a dead man. I'll endeavor to remember it. Do better than endeavor.
And with that, he left, hurrying through the crowd after Jack. Hopefully he comes back soon. Okay. So, chitty chat with Kesa. What are we doing with you? Ooh, she bites. She's biting. So, how would you go about, helping me? Hypothetically. How do you think you could help me pursue something like that?
I have quite a lot of connections here that might be of benefit to you.
As long as I'm of benefit to you?
It would be of benefit to have you here, yes. But it isn't as if I expect that you'll join the family. That isn't my intent.
No, but it is your father's intent.
Regardless of anything else, something like finishing school wouldn't be outside the realm of possibility if you were here.
To what end? Acquiring a degree, starting a career that utilizes it? That's a pipe dream at this point.
It is still a dream.
Dreams change.
Are you saying yours have? This quickly?
Wasn't, something about dreams changing a theme in Case's route, or am I misremembering? That sounds familiar. I couldn't deny there was a certain allure to what he was saying. Not the defecting from Endgame part, just the idea of going back to some kind of normalcy. But there were other considerations now. Caleb, for one, other relationships I'd already forged, and the simple reality that it wouldn't be as easy as Kesa made it sound. He wouldn't sway me with that kind of argument, but there was a brief stirring of temptation at his words. A month ago, I'd probably have accepted without a thought. Now, things were different. You know I can't accept this kind of offer.
I suppose I do. Though it's unfortunate.
Maybe it is. Instead of saying, unfortunate for you, she's like, yeah, maybe.
Come, it appears they're about to get started. We must take our seats and hope Jack and Caleb can find us.
Alright. On we go. And now we in it. Thinking this is a game? An uncomfortable sense of dread bubbled up in that moment. I was gripping the table so hard I thought it might break as I watched those men advance on Brennan and the woman with him. I was waiting for her to act, but Brennan was the one who pulled something from inside his jacket. When he aimed at the man, I recognized the relic right away and had to bite my lip hard to avoid screaming out a warning. He fired it, and the man fell with a choked scream. It was the same type as the relic from Bracel, so I could imagine what was happening, though I couldn't see him once he fell. His guards let out a shout and tried to rush the stage. That was when the woman took them out with 2 precisely aimed cybers. Wait, did you just shoot Donovan? Hold on. I'm kind of okay with you shooting this guy, though. Just putting that out there. Good job, Brendan. There were gasps. Chairs scraped back as others tried to scramble away from the man writhing around on the floor. No, no, no! Why was it like this? What should I do? If it was the same as the other device, I could shut down that relic and save the man he shot. It was possible that would alert them to my presence, but they might not know it was me. I wasn't sure what to do, and there was no one to ask. Oh, interesting. So yeah, because he didn't get shot. I'm like, did I completely miss Donovan getting shot? But no, that didn't happen. in the passionate ending. Interesting. I wonder why that is. Maybe Sylvia had the relic at one point, and when she was in the scuffle with Jack and Caleb, she lost it, and so Brennan didn't have it at this point or something? I don't know. That's interesting. What am I doing here? Okay, I'm not saving the man, but I am saving a slot here, because this is also a bad ending. For now, we're gonna wait. But I didn't think I could shut it down without getting attention, and I couldn't afford to have her notice me yet. Even if I didn't care what happened to me, I had to consider everyone else. Acting too soon, and in a room full of people, might mean a confrontation, and my last confrontation with that woman resulted in me destroying a building. I squeezed my eyes shut and clenched my jaw, forcing myself to stay still. I hated it. What was the point of these stupid abilities if I still felt so helpless in a situation like this? There was a soft touch on my arm, and I looked at Kesa to see him watching me.
Hold it in. If we act now, it won't end well for us. I believe our psi is being suppressed, as I can't seem to use my abilities. That woman with him probably has a device to disrupt the psi dampener. We're at a disadvantage.
Though dampeners didn't work on me, I still had to agree with him. If that woman really was a queen rank, she had more experience than me. I couldn't recklessly start a fight. I know.
Good. We'll get our chance.
I hoped he was right. The room had gone dead quiet the moment they openly attacked a guest. Then someone made a break for the door. Alright. There they go, running away.
So the parade of relic incidents was just your way of luring us in? Well, it's a little too late if you notice the trap once you're already in it. But that's the gist of it. Get the trash in one place together, then burn it all at once.
A trap. It all made sense now that they put it in that light. Caleb had said how strange it was to see all these people in one place together. It never happened. Except it had happened. Whether it was the ones who showed up because of greed, or the ones who showed up because we couldn't risk the possibility it was real, he set us all up, and we fell for it. There we go. And they're gone. Too late? Okay. I was doing my best to hold back the tears as I took the opportunity to sidle alongside Caleb. It was not the time to throw myself in his arms, but I need to be close to him.
This went to hell fast.
I'm inclined to agree with you there.
At least we're all alive. I don't know if they're idiots, or if that man just didn't want to personally dirty his hands. Regardless, we should be grateful for at least that much.
Grateful isn't the word I'd pick. I can't believe we let them leave.
And did you have a better plan?
No. No, I didn't. But they were both queen ranks, and I didn't think I could do much about it.
Both?
Yes, both. I didn't realize Brennan was at first, but by the end his psi had normalized and I could tell.
It's better you let them leave. Now we can just focus on fixing this situation. We only caught the tail end of all that. What exactly is happening?
Well, that relic is getting ready to kill us all, and take out at least part of Pythia, so there's that. Alright.
We should still try to destroy as many of those psi dampeners as possible, and probably clear this room out if we can. No offense, Morgan, but you tend to blow the relics up more than shut them down.
No, I agree with you.
If you can disrupt the dampening field in this room, I think I can open a hole in the energy field and let the civilians out. She'll have the damn thing shut off by the time we're able to do that. Then I guess you two will have to work fast.
Caleb shot a look at Jack with a grim expression. Jack was sitting as if in a daze, staring hard at the floor.
I think I'm on my own with this one. I'll get to work on the psi dampeners. Morgan, you try to shut that thing down.
Right. On it. So, okay, so she ran back in, shut it down. That's good. Save the day, no matter what. Me too. Sudden tears stung my eyes as that realization sank in. I nearly died. We all nearly died. Shaking overtook my body and I curled into Caleb. Aw, my heart, that's so sad. He wrapped his arms around me.
It's okay. It's okay, Morgan.
We sat there for a long time as I cried, even though everything turned out okay. Caleb rested his cheek against the top of my head and let me.
If it's this upsetting, don't be so stubborn next time.
It would be more upsetting if I'd run away and the rest of you... I swallowed past the lump in my throat. Sorry. It's just a little overwhelming.
I know.
I knew he did. And he was just unsure how to console me. I wasn't even upset, really. There was just too much, and it couldn't come out any other way than this. Yeah, you're just in shock, and it's like, well, I need to deal with these emotions somehow. It felt like a long time before I pulled away, rubbed at my eyes, and regrouped a little. I think I had a breakthrough with the relics. This time I shut it down intentionally. That's why it didn't self-destruct. I'm fairly certain I can repeat what I did if I ever need to.
That's a relief, I guess. Knowing we have a countermeasure against relics is comforting.
He didn't sound like he meant it, but I was certain it was because the countermeasure was me. Okay, there we go. And we in the Endgame now. Ha ha ha. I'll see myself out.
Given your behavior on the last mission, I've heard rumors the Council is considering permitting you to continue your work with the Research Division going forward, with less focus on field assignments.
That's almost insulting, considering I did nothing wrong.
Aren't you happier cooped up in the lab looking at weird old things?
Well, I won't say it's not more peaceful than everything else I've experienced since joining Endgame.
It's certainly better for my heart than having you out in the field.
But if we run into those people again, you'll all need me. I didn't have to remind him that Sylvia, had defeated them all, several times.
Focusing more on research doesn't mean only on research. You'll have to keep training too, no matter what.
Well, I won't complain about that. Though...
What?
If they have me working more with Ari and Vaughn going forward, I'll miss our sparring matches.
I'll spar with you anytime you want, Buttercup.
Buttercup? You can't just throw in a nickname at the end of all this like it's nothing? Do you even know what a buttercup is? Damn, got him.
Native Earth species in the genus Ranunculus.
Why do you even know that?
I told you. I read a lot.
Okay, alright, sorry, sheesh. But did it have to be butter or something? Because Jack calls her butterfly, and now you're going buttercup. It's too much butter, okay? You never cease to amaze me.
That's the point, isn't it?
He slipped his hand into mine, lacing our fingers together as we walked. I like working in the lab, but I worry about not being out in the field with the rest of you. Especially you.
Please. You're the one that needed babysitting.
I beg to differ.
You can beg all you want. Doesn't change that you're wrong.
He leaned to place a kiss on my brow, stopping to pull me into a hug.
I want you to do whatever you want to do. I want you to be safe. And happy. And if you can stress those assholes on the council out a little while being those things, well, that's just a bonus. But for the record, I think the research division suits you better.
Well, I can't deny that working on the relics is exciting. I mean, it's not really what I wanted to do, but I've been able to understand the alphabet of Arraean a little. Like, grasp the specific symbols. The body of available text for Arraean was relatively small, all things considered. At least what was available to the public. Without a large corpus of the language, there was so little anyone could learn about it. But now, that's changed. It will be years before we can go public with this, but it's still exciting. There are so many mysteries about Arcalis, so many odd things about this planet, from the artificial tidal locking to two distinct technologically advanced races and yet only one distinct primitive culture. This could open so many doors for... What? What's that look for?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
I know, when I saw the block of text, I'm like, and she's going into full-on nerd mode. He leaned down and kissed me, right there on the street corner. My face went hot to the tip of my ears.
I look forward to hearing all about it going forward.
Sorry. I know I ramble about this sort of thing.
Don't apologize. It's the first thing you've been this excited and happy about since you joined. I hate the path we had to walk down to get here, but at the same time, I'm glad.
He pulled me into a tight hug, which I returned happily.
I'm just really glad you're here.
Me too. And I was. Whatever was ahead of us, I was so glad I ended up here with him. Aw, adorable. That was very sweet. I really liked that, actually. That has the potential to be like my favorite of the sweet endings. It's interesting because like it was more fiery in some ways because they were just like constantly arguing with each other, which led to like a more tense first kiss between them. So I was like, oh, whoa. But then once they got that out of the way, they just kind of like really pulled back, which is interesting. But anyway, there you go. That was Caleb's sweet ending. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. I certainly did. This guy is just super solid, no matter what ending he's got. Although, we do have 2 bad endings coming up. Although I don't really think Caleb's going to be the cause of those bad endings. But we shall see. We shall see what we shall see next time. Until then, guys, thanks again for joining me, and I will see you later.